Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Be nice to me, please. It's the first time for me all alone. So we're going to talk today about the edge technology and how it is the future protection for your website. At the beginning, I would like to introduce myself. So my name is Vendula Kralova. I'm the current CSO and CMO in the company. And my main tasks right now are building a robust sales department from absolute scratch, which is something, elevating brand presence globally, leading a dynamic event management team, and strategic market penetration and networking, and also like presentations, etc. So that's going to be for me. And also, before we dive into all of those things, I would like to introduce WEDOS a little bit more and tell you about how we got ourselves into the cybersecurity field. Because WEDOS started as a hosting services provider multiple years ago. And with us growing throughout the years, we faced multiple huge attacks and we were dealing with a lot. And right now, we're the biggest provider. So with that traffic, it was impossible for us to be able to protect ourselves properly. We've tried multiple solutions, even like magical black boxes, etc., but nothing was effective enough. So we started to play with the thought of our own cybersecurity. And the plan was, at the beginning, really like a long-term one. So we've planned to launch 2 to 3 locations in 1 year. And then the war in Ukraine started, and we've showed support publicly, and that made us the biggest target. So we faced the biggest attack in the Czech Republic's history for sure, because they attacked every single IP address that we've had. So half of the banks in Czech Republic weren't working. Everybody was angry at us. And we knew that we have to do something really quickly. So we've decided to skip the long part of the plan and act quickly. And we've launched, I guess, 15 locations in 3 months, which was something that was a rocky road, but we made it. And then we were testing it on ourselves, and we saw the upgrade, and we saw how effective it is. And then we've actually decided to offer it to the customers and to the world also, not only keep it to ourselves. So that's how we actually got ourselves into this whole cybersecurity field, and that's what we are focusing on the most right now. What are we going to be talking about today? We're going to start with hosting issues, and there is like a long line of issues for hostings, but we're going to be talking the most about shared hostings because that is something that is most affected, I would say. Shared hostings are often universal, that's why everybody is using them. They are used because having your own server is actually much more expensive, and you have to have the know-how and the experience. So you can use shared hosting, but with that, the server then actually generates the pages based on the CPU speed, disk speed, and location. And some things can be pre-generated by using caching, but mostly it's not enough. So then these shared hostings, they use limited CPU performance. And based on that, it takes only a few hundreds of requests on layer 7, and the web hosting can be overloaded and cannot keep up anymore. And with that also comes that the load is often dependent on third parties, and before the first load or the first load is requires communications with the DNS. So if there's a large amount of unwanted traffic and unwanted requests, the provider may restrict you from using the services because in the event of one strong attack on one customer, the whole entire web hosting server will be affected, and that includes also the other customers. So it's not only harmful for you, but also for everybody else. So that's why. Then we have basic threats. We have layers 3, 4, and 7, and security protection on those layers is really really essential because layer 3 deals with routing data across the network, then layer 4 handles the connection and data flow control, and layer 7 actually works at the application level. So altogether, it's really essential to be protected and to ensure the security there. These layers provide you protection against various threats such as distributed denial of service, known as DDoS attacks, then SYN floods, and many, many more. Then we are adding web application firewall, which is additional layer of defense that can analyze and filter HTTP traffic between actually the application and the internet. So that helps detect and block attacks such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and many others. Then, with these layers and the web application firewall in place altogether, the integrity of data and the availability of your application is ensured, which is actually crucial for maintaining the reliability and security. Then we can talk about protection, and we have two possibilities here. We have the endpoint protection in the data center, which is something like the black boxes I was already mentioning. And this method ensures protection directly within the data center in the specific location. And it can be data center like physical location where the servers and other equipment are housed, and the endpoint protection focuses on securing the access point to the network and data within the data center. Then you have second possibility, which is the better one, and you have edge security technologies. And unlike the endpoint protection, the edge technologies are actually located at the network edge closer to the users, which is good because this allows you for the detection and blocking and threats before they reach the internal network of data centers. So basically, it's like any cast solution, and you can divide all the traffic into multiple locations. The endpoint has limited availability, so the data center may be located in like specific geographic location, and then that means that the protection is limited to this location and this location only. So it's called unicast solution, and it means all the traffic goes to one specific location, and you are trying actually to save it and to protect all the data at the endpoint, which can be really hard. And if there's like a really huge attack, you're not able to filter that altogether in one place. It can cause delay and performance. So if you're redirecting all the traffic to the data center, as I said, it can cause delays, reduce performance, especially in the case of like the global network, etc. Then you have the edge security, which is basically any cast solution, and that means that all the traffic is divided into multiple locations closer to the users. You can use caching, it reduces latency, you have increased availability, and it can actually deliver like the optimization of the content. So it also works as an CDN. Here you can see the global infrastructure that we are building, and I will tell you a little bit more. We're taking our physical hardware, we're configuring that, and then sending it to specific locations all around the world. So you have multiple data centers where actually the pre-cached data are, and then if there's any issue or I don't know, the website is down or something, the other servers can stood up for it, and with the pre-cached informations, we are able to actually show what's on the websites from like 6 up to 24 hours. So even if there's an issue, nobody has to know. You will not even know because everything is working. So here you can see the infrastructure that we have here right now that is functional, and we're still adding more and more and more. Right now we're focusing on Europe the most, and then we're gonna focus on the whole world more. Then we have prevention, and here we're going to talk more about WordPress because the WordPress content management system is like very popular, and that leads to a large number of different attacks on the websites that use it. Even, if the attacks fail to breach the website, they still actually burden the servers and don't slow down your website, so that's why it's important. And you have two options. You can block requests for files, or you can deploy the CAPTCHA. Then we have solution, which is basically that you will immediately start blocking malicious traffic from attacking IP addresses, promptly begin non-invasively limiting access. You can create a static fingerprint of your pages, redirections, and 404 errors, block or harmful bots, overloading your website, hacker attacks and other problematic traffic, thanks to the web application firewall. And then you can add a CAPTCHA form before the VP admin login form, which you will fill out during your first daily login. Then we also, for this solution, use advanced caching, which is another thing that is really helpful and really good. The cached servers are actually located within the infrastructure, as I was saying. So they are closer to the users, and the content of the website is thus stored in like different geographical locations. Always close to your users, and it's always better. So this will result in like faster page loads, higher user engagement, and more conversions and returning satisfied customers. So it's not only about protection, but it's even about speeding up the website and different other features that comes with that. The benefits of advanced caching are that when your website is down, as I was saying, with the solution, you will get a static page. So you don't have to even notice that there was an issue. And also, by distributing network traffic within the WEDOS global infrastructure and reducing the number of the requests to the source server minimizes the cost of hardware for the web hosting provider. So there's even good usage in preventing that. Here we have a slide case study of Czech business, basically. It's called Dotekomania.cz, and we've helped to reduce the load on the web server by 70% and achieved 6 times faster web loading, which is amazing. And the negative impact of digital media unavailability is like financial losses for sure, and then the decline in trust and loss of regular customers or readers. And the result was actually really amazing because after the implementation of VGP, the number of requests to the target server decreased. So there was like 41% reduction in web server load, which is amazing. And then the average web response time decreased from 752 milliseconds to 135 milliseconds, which is 82% increase in loading speed. So that was what happened, and it was only after implementation. There was nothing else that we were doing. The implementation is really easy. It's also in the official store of WordPress, so it's only a few clicks, nothing hard. You can install it. First step is to look for WEDOS Global Protection, for sure. Step 2 is to install an active, and then step 3, you can already create an account and set up the protection and acceleration of the site. If you would be interested in seeing that, you can visit our booth, and our colleague will happily show you. Here you can see how the steps look like, only quickly. And here we have a slide graph of the case study, as I was saying. So you can see the red line, and then you can see the green line. So it's really 82% loading speed increase. So that's only for show 2. And we are at the end of the presentation. So we took it kind of quickly, but if you have more questions or you want to dive deeper into technical things, you can visit our booth. And I am not the tech guy, but my colleague here is, so he can happily answer all the questions you would like to know. Thank you very much.